So we head into our, well, another race here. 12 out of 14 today, and it's DD2. Let's have a look at the starting grid for race 2 for this category. So starting on pole position, it will be Mika Metz. Fabian Bock will be alongside. And it's Florian Breitenbach and Laurent Seyfried, who got a very well-deserved 4th place in the race earlier on today. Row number 3 is going to be Yannick Jacobs and Sander Schrublak. Dennis Thiem and Ronnie Gertler, that is row 4, with Matthias Lund and Marcel Steinert rounding out the top 10. Completing the top 6 rows is Ragnar Virus and Hannes Borde, Mark Bartels and Robert Chopin rounding out the top 14 drivers. There are a lot of karts in the pit lane. I can't explain to you why that is. Hopefully things will get underway very, very soon indeed. A lot of them might have actually switched tyres. So there could be a bit of a gamble opportunity here. So the grid you can see at the rest of it is you've got the likes of Jonas Wolscheid in 15th, Yannick Herrmann, Jana Stier, Leon Arndt, Tim Stender, Philipp Treschler, Denis Chalau, Francisco Blum and Fotias Kalfas. So effectively those drivers, and I count 5 of them according to the live timing. Now the biggest thing is that those that have swapped tyres have ended up effectively in the pre-grid. So once these drivers get going, so the biggest thing is that who has gambled and who has not. Well, we're about to find out, because the way that the senior Rotax drivers were going, it seemed like it was at the point where wet weather tyres might not be used and slicks might be different. Okay, rolling start gets underway. And once these drivers have gotten past, watch the floodgates open behind, because now, there we go. And at the back of that train looks to be Denis Chalau is one of the drivers at the back end. And now, with the way that the circuit has evolved, look how dry it is. And there are going to be some drivers that are going to be up to speed. And at the moment, leading the way, it is a FM Racing 1-2. For the moment. We're only 30 seconds in. Laurent Seyfried has the lead of the race, ahead of teammates Marcel Steinert. Robert Chopin rounds out the top 3. Now you can see the sea of karts behind. So I think some have decided to gamble on wet weather tyres and hold on for as long as possible. Now we're going to see the lap times, and I'm going to look at the comparison between the two. Laurent Seyfried will cross the line. His lap time was a 53.656, a 53.870. Right, let's just have a look and keep our eyes on other times here. So the rest of the drivers have yet to set a representative lap time, a full lap thereof, because they all started behind. But wait, all I'm going to say is wait, there is something in the air here in Mülsen that really has gotten me on tenterhooks. So Yannick Jacobs is the last of the 5 drivers that took the start. We've got, right, I've got a full course yellow. A full course yellow. I've just seen the slow signs and yellow flags. The drivers are slowing down. Full course yellow looks to have been employed. There is one driver that is in a Kraft Motorsport race suit. So it is yellow. It's a full course yellow with the slow signs out, and it's the prepare to stop. So full course yellow. And this is for the second successive second race in the first 2 rounds of the season. So obviously the drivers have got to take due care and attention. Now I've just seen Dennis Thiem, Fotios Kalfas and Francisco Blum. All 3 drivers not running. So that means we go down to 20 drivers. So a very, very shrewd decision by race control to neutralise the race. This has got things rather interesting indeed, because now I had a feeling there was going to be something quite unique about this race. Well, there's been more unique strikes than I could probably shake a stick at right now. So running out the top 20, and there are 20 drivers still running, is the RTM Racing Team Margraf MS car of Denis Chalot in the 403. We've got Philipp Dreschler, his teammate, ahead in 19th position. So Dennis' team, Fortius Kalfas and Francisco Blum, I would imagine are not going to take any further participation in this race. I've only seen one kart on the circuit, so the race has been neutralised until everything has been cleared up and we are cleared to go racing. So it is single file. They are taking things nice and easily as we wait for the green flag once again to wave, but they've got to be careful. If anyone might remember what happened 2 weeks ago, and I know Oliver Breitenbach will be very much aware of what I'm saying right now, that they've got to take care. They can't do anything undue. They can't be at full racing speed. Now I see the green flag being prepared. So you're going to have to wait for this, but I think this is going to be a classic, this race. So you've got Seyfried and Steinert at the front of the grid. Green flags are being prepared at all marshal posts. So the next time they come round, the timer is still counting down. So effectively, it will be a 9 or so minute sprint plus one additional lap, depending on how quickly they get around the circuit. I think we're going to have between 8 and 8.5 minutes on the timer left before the final lap ball comes out. So my question is, who's on slicks? Who's on wets? I think the top 5. Now, there has been an interesting development because Yannick Jacobs ended up in 11th at the full course yellow. So that says to me absolutely nothing, because now Seyfried and Steiner have started running away from the field. So green flag waves, we're back underway. 8 minutes and 40 to go on the clock plus an additional lap. And now Robert Chopin rounds out the top 3. Zana Schriblak looking to close in. And I think that maybe some of the drivers actually managed to call the conditions correctly, because Lawrence Seyfried and Marcel Steiner were running in the 53.8s. They knew that the track was evolved enough, and with them, keep your eyes on Zana Schriblak. Schriblak started in 5th. He's now up into P3. We still have 8 minutes plus an additional lap of this race remaining. So we are up to full racing speed. We're about to complete lap number 5 of this race, and it is Comp Kart City at the front of the field. Dennis' team retired, so he was the one that brought out the full course yellow. Francisco Blum and Fortius Kalfas actually opted to not start the race. So 7.5 minutes to go, and the times are in. Zander Schriblak is noticeably quicker, but not by much, ahead of Lawrence Seyfried and Marcel Steiner. Zander Schriblak was 0.13 seconds quicker, as Robert Chopin looks to be dropping down the field, and his lap time's 56.3. That says to me he's more than likely on wets. It's easier to interpret sometimes by lap time than actually having a very bona fide clear image on what you see in front of you. But Lawrence Seyfried still leads. The gap between him and Marcel Steinert, 0.2. Fabian Bock is winding up the wick, and he's trying to close in on Zander Schriblak. And I've just seen the amount of drivers that are well off the pace. Hannes Border, Honey Girdler, Matthias Lund, Ragnar Veres, Robert Chopin. They've all gambled, and it's the wrong one. I think the top 3, I think they're on slicks. The pace that they're setting, Fabian Bock is showcasing this. They are not that far off the lap times that were being set in the first race here today. They're about a couple of seconds off, if that. So now, this is a bona fide race for the lead. And at the moment, Lawrence Seyfried leads it, but not by much. Zander Schriblak is looking to make it 3 abreast, and he goes up the inside of the pair of them. Steiner up into P2, Seyfried down to 3rd, and Fabian Bock is right with him. Now things are changing. Now the track is coming to drivers. Now the times are dropping, but looking at Matthias Lund, Denny Scharlau, Tim Stender, Robert Schoppian, Philipp Dreschler, Mika Metz all the way down in 17th position. Who would have thought that? There were some drivers that thought that maybe, well, there's enough water on the circuit for me to keep these tyres cool. No, they're burning them up. They are burning them up. And Zander Schriblak has hit the front, but he's got Marcel Steinert closing in on him at a race of knots. And at the moment still, Lawrence Seyfried still holds P3. Ahead of Fabian Bock. Marcel Steinert sets a personal best. As Fabian Bock gets his way past Lawrence Seyfried for 3rd position. And these are 2 young chargers. As is the one at the front of the field, the current reigning and defending Euro Trophy champion. So Dennis Thiem has retired. Mika Metz down, and he's running in the 58, so the gamble's not paid off. They will be kicking themselves, and this throws the championship so wide open. It is not even funny right now coming into this round. And effectively looking at the championships coming into this round, you know, DD2, it had Mika Metz at the front of the field. Marcel Steinert is probably going to take that. Well, he would do. But Fabian Bock is going to make himself very much someone to contend with this season. This has blown the doors off of this championship. And we've got 42 days to wait until we go to Kart Club Campen Mannheim in 42 days in Western Germany, the other side of the country, to see who's really going to start being in that title push. Steinert you can throw in there. Fabian Bock will want to go into that karting style MMA octagon in just a few weeks' time. But Zander Schriblak is being chased. And Zander Schriblak being chased by, of all people, Fabian Bock. Yannick Jacobs down in 20th position. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Mika Metz is closing in. Fabian Bock's put in the fastest lap of the race, and he was nearly 4 tenths quicker than the man in second, Zander Schriblak. And even with the way things are at the moment, if Schriblak decided to do the rest of the championship, he could be even in title contention. But I think this is a one-off appearance, if memory serves me correctly. But effectively, this means that Fabian Bock has thrown his 2 cents, and they are big 2 cents as well. The cojones have definitely come out to play, and they're being used by Fabian Bock. You know, Marcel Steinert and Lawrence Seyfried knew that they were on borrowed time, as here comes Florian Breidenbach. He takes 4th position off of Lawrence Seyfried. Now we'll start gunning after Marcel Steinert. 2 minutes and 20 plus an additional lap still to go in this race, as we've got 2 more races after this one. So it looks like they've passed another driver. Matthias Lund is absolutely nowhere. The Dane has also called it wrong. Oh my goodness, you know what, when I catch up with people in the paddock in Kaupen in just over 40 days time, I'm going to say, right, what did you gamble with? Because I want to know what it made you decide to take that call. 1 minute and 43 seconds plus an additional lap. Fabian Bock leads. Yannick Jacobs has called time on the race. I'm not at all surprised. Well, he did call time on the race, but he had a couple of difficult laps. A 58.6 and then a 1 minute 3.8. And now Florian Breitenbach looking to make good his intentions, looking to get into the top 3 before the weekend is over in one of the main races on Sunday. And he has got there. He's got past Marcel Steinert. And you know what? He's not that far adrift of the two leading the way. Fabian Bock and Zana Schriblak will have to keep themselves rather honest, because now they cross the line. 51 seconds on the clock remaining, and it's not that far behind. Florian Breitenbach is only like just over a second behind, so never say never with the pace that he has been showing. He did a 51.5 last time round. Jana Stier, in the meantime, she has been the fastest of everybody. The number 444 from Nice Racing. She's got herself up into 9th position, and she put in the fastest lap on lap number 12 at 50.926. So keep your eyes on her in the dying moments. She's not that far from Ragnar Virus and could snatch... Oh, she's not that far from Ronnie Gertler. But we are literally on the bubble. Oh, they crossed the line with 0 on the clock. Oh my goodness, and it is final lap, because this time now, I don't think they're aware. I think, well, they're going to now see, if they've looked behind them, they'll see in their peripheral vision what the digi flag says, and it will say lap 1, which means final lap. So it was on the bubble. Mika Metz out of the race. And there he is, watching by the sidelines. But Fabian Bock on course to win in DD2 in RMC Germany in 2021. Zana Schriblak has been the one that's really showcased that what he's capable of. If he was to take part in a full campaign, it's a one-off for him. But Fabian Bock takes the checkered, and he's absolutely jubilant. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. He's bested Zana Schriblak, and he has taken a race victory here in RMC Germany as a DD2 driver. Zana Schriblak takes 2nd position. Florian Breitenbach rounds off his weekend with a top 3. And it was a good fight, nevertheless. Good persistence by Marcel Steiner and Lawrence Seyfried, who round out the top 5. Ragnar Vinus in 7th, Ronnie Gertler in 8th, Mark Bartels, Jana Stier round out the top 10. Leon Arndt, Denny Schalau, Philipp Breischler, Tim Stender, Yannick Herrmann, Matthias Lund, Robert Schopian, Jonas Wolscheid and Yannick Jacobs round out the 19 that finished the race, albeit Wolscheid and Jacobs being a lap down. The biggest news though, Mika Metz out on lap 12, and with it the championship dynamic changes. But rounding off the headlines here in DD2 in Mülsen, Fabian Bock wins race 2.